Nice.
Welcome back.
Welcome to the Garden of Treats show every Wednesday at 9 p.m.,
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
where we get to connect with our viewers and talk about real life things.
How's our sound? Swim Daddy right there. We got him a filter recently. We went up to East Lansing, and I guess we was depriving him of oxygen. So we got a filter on there now. It's dripping. Can y'all hear it? It's kind of peaceful. I like it. And look like we shooting off a 1940 camera. It look terrible. Dang. Got my Michigan State looking wild. All right. But yeah, how y'all feeling today? How are y'all feeling? How you feeling? You
I
look
feel tired.
you tired?
Mm.
Well, you're gonna have to wake up because we got some things to talk about today. Some things that y'all should be very interested in. And once you know, you now have to make a choice for better health and better wealth.
Well, I guess we can start by going over where we ended,
All right, let's
leaving
go.
where we ended. So basically, in the first episode, we talked about our journey into farming
Mm-hmm.
and how we got to where we are. But we ended in Texas. So we talked about our journey from how we met to leaving the college town to
Mm-hmm.
having our own separate lives to coming together in Texas, having our baby. And now we're talking about us moving to Ohio and acquiring our farm. Everything we've done so far this first year of having our farm
Mm-hmm.
with our nonprofit, with our business, everything like that. So that's what we're talking about today. And then also, we brought some fun facts about Red Dye 40.
Yep. That was the participation activity.
Yeah, so we told everyone last week to bring a snack, a drink, or something like that.
Yeah, just an ingredient, something that you may eat or you may not eat, and read the ingredients and maybe something on there that you may not have noticed before that you're paying attention to now, and do some research on it and see if it's something that's helpful for you or something that's harmful for you, and what would be the alternative selection food, wherever you want it to be, to replace that if it was something that was harmful for your life. So the participation activity will be coming up soon.
Yeah, we'll probably leave it for the end after we talk about what we've been doing here in Ohio.
Hmm.
So we're going to share our screen so you can see some pictures as we go on.
Let's do it.
So here we go.
Welcome to Ohio. You'll do better in Ohio. I don't know where they came up with that at, but Ohio.
Find it here.
Oh, fine.
Toledo is you do better in Toledo.
Well, we don't call it Toledo because that's some colonizer, some raider type thing. We're gonna call it the Glass City, Glass
Yeah.
City, Ohio.
So this picture in the U-Haul is when we arrived
It
to
was a
our
big one. It
home.
was a big one. I promise you, if it would have been any smaller, even by a foot, we wouldn't have fit the stuff in there. But I can say we brought a lot of junk with us, and it was stuff packed to the brim. But the one thing we had to make sure that we got in there was our plants.
Yeah, we brought all of our fruit trees from Texas in this U-Haul.
Mm-hmm.
It was what, an 18-hour drive?
18. Shoot. It felt like an hour
An hour.
plus 40. It felt like a long time. It was a
It
long
was an
drive.
18-hour drive. And
And these U-Hauls got governors on them, and it only would go 80, but 80 was kind of fast. I was sliding that thing. So she didn't drive with me. I rode with it was me and Bella, and she drove in the car with her, Marley, and our puppy Woo. So
yeah, so before we left, the first thing we got, well, yeah, really the first thing we got for our farm was protection.
peace to the family. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat.
This is our protection.
We got a funny story with the U-Haul, but I don't know if I'm gonna share that with y'all. It was what state was we in when that happened?
Kentucky? No, it
Kentucky.
wasn't Kentucky. We were like way down the road, probably like Tennessee.
Man, I was whipping the RV. I ain't even gonna tell you the story yet, cause plead the fifth. You know what I'm saying? But woo,
Yeah.
we got here safe. Let's say that.
Yeah, it was a long ride. We took a lot of breaks. We slept a lot of times in the car. Yeah, it was rough, but we made it here.
Me and
So
Marley Bestnap was at this Penske gas station. Me, she took all her clothes off. She was in there with a diaper. I was in there, shirt off, heat blazing, and knocked out. She came and knocked on the window like it's time to go. I'm like, whoa, we just went to sleep. But yeah, it was a good trip. It was a good trip. That's for sure.
it took us 3 days to get here
Yeah.
from Texas. The first day we drove only like 5 hours. I think we drove from San Antonio to Dallas the first day,
Hmm.
and that was not far at all. We expected to get to at least to Arkansas the first day, so that was like rough. And we just found a hotel and was like, we just going here, and we had to
Hmm.
bring the dogs, Bella and Woo. We had to bring them in the hotel. It was crazy. And then the next day we made it pretty far. We made it to Memphis, right? No, yeah, Memphis. No,
Before you get to Memphis, one of the main things we had to do before we slid out of Texas was we had to go to Austin to go to Community Vegan.
yeah.
It's a spot. His name is Marlon, and he owns a community vegan spot in East Austin. If you ever go to Austin, make sure that you pull up there and tell him that the Garden of Treatz sent you over there and tell him that he got the best food in the South. So go check him out. It's amazing and it's worth your time. So even if you're in Canada, slide down to South East Austin and go get you some of that community vegan.
And across the street from there is a really cool store called Plant Party, and they got some nice like indoor house plants.
Mm-hmm.
They're really nice. I got some cute pots from there.
That's true. That's true.
So
And they got a record store across the street from there also.
yeah, it's a coffee shop record store.
That's true. I lost my wallet last time there. The first time I was there, lost my wallet, the whole thing. But I guess it was worth the trip.
Yeah, and so the first stop was Dallas, and then we moved. Then we got to Nashville. I think it was. That was a long drive from Dallas to Nashville, but we did it. And then
Mm-hmm.
from Nashville, it was only 8 hours left, and we drove and we made it here.
Mm-hmm.
So
And the U-Haul, it did pretty good on gas. I want to say it was terrible on gas. It did pretty well on gas. We probably had it from Texas to Ohio. We probably filled it up probably 3 times. About 3 times, yeah.
mm-hmm.
So total in gas, I would say it wasn't no more than $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the gas was pretty straight on the ride too. But the gas down south is a lot cheaper than the gas as you move towards the north. So as we got to Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ohio, the gas prices definitely increased. So
Yep. And so once we made it here, we started on our farm right away. And so this picture is a aerial view of our land. And so I got this just off the auditor's website. So we have a 5-acre farm. You can see all the way towards the left, that's where our house is. And then there's 2 other structures. So there's a shed in the back, and then we have a big barn. And so in that like dark area in the middle, that
right here.
yeah, I don't know if they can see our mouse, but
Can y'all see
yeah,
the mouse? Why shouldn't they?
you will have to go to the other screen.
Oh, it's all good. Oh well.
So like that dark area, so you see like it's like grass, but then there's like this dark area and it looks like water. That's actually water. And so that's something that we ran into, that it was actually written on our like she disclosed that to us when we bought the property, but we didn't think it was this big, and also we didn't know the extent of it. And honestly, we didn't really mind it to begin with. But we did not. We ended up planting our first fruit trees there that we brought from
So
Texas.
like, dang, I don't know if y'all can see the mouse, but if you can, if you see the green line, the blue line, imagine like 10 feet from that blue line coming towards the east, coming towards the west. So the blue line y'all see straight down towards the top of the house, that's the so this side, this is the east, this is the east, This is the south, this is the west, and then this is the north. And so we planted the trees on the east side about this far, and as you can see, that's where um the water issues were.
Yeah, and so we first planted our. So we brought a apple tree. No, we didn't bring an apple tree from Texas.
We had a
We
peach
brought a
tree.
peach tree,
We had an apple tree. We had an apple tree
and then we ended up acquiring more trees in Ohio
before you stoned her.
when we first got here. We ended up acquiring some more trees,
Mm-hmm.
like a couple apple trees, a plum tree, cherry tree,
Mm-hmm.
and we planted them all in like a row over there because that's where we decided where we wanted to start our orchard. But what happened was that season it got too wet there, and then there was a frost that cause so we moved in fall. We planted all the trees in fall, and then that next spring there was a late frost after the trees had already started growing back, and it was too much water, and they kind of drowned. And so we pretty much lost all the trees that we planted right there, except
Mm-hmm.
for one. And so what we learned from that was one, pay attention to where you're planting things, and probably should wait a year before so you can look at the land to see what's going to happen with the land that year before you decide to plant a tree in there. And then also to cover up your trees if they start blooming or getting leaves on them in the spring, and then you hear that there's going to be a frost, you have to cover those trees up. uh, in Texas, they just use a blanket and wrap tie a blanket around the trees. But yeah, you just put something around the trees so that they don't get covered in that frost, or they will die, especially peach trees.
Mm-hmm. And what is a good resource for they know when the last and first frost is? That book is called
The
the Al-
old almanac.
the Almanac.
You have to get the year though that you're in. So like right now they just came out with the 2024 old almanac, and it has all the dates. We'll probably have a episode about the old almanac because that's a very important book. But yeah, it has all the dates in there about when to start planting things. It has each type of thing, each type of plant, and then it tells you when you should plant it, when's the last day you can plant it, and all that. It's a good resource.
So what we can do is we go through each zone from 1 through 9. That's all the zones, like 1 through 9?
Mm-hmm.
1 through 9, and we'd say the first frost date to the last frost date. And even if so, I know this year it says the last frost date is August 20. Not August. I'm tripping. April 29th. But we still won't plant until probably like a couple days after that, maybe a week after that, just to be
Depending on
sure.
what it is, I think we should plant onions,
Oh yeah,
like
those
root
things.
vegetables.
Yeah, root vegetables. Yeah.
First, earlier, and then, but planting like okra, tomatoes, those kind of things, we'll wait until after, like at least a week after the frost date.
Yeah, I agree. Cause
And so, keep moving. So I created this little
ooh, that's crispy. That's
diagram.
crispy.
There's actually a video on YouTube, and it's going over our homestead plan. And this came from that video. And so basically, I just put on there all the things that we want to have. And so we can talk about the things that we do have right
Mm-hmm.
now, and then the things we expect to get later. So
Mm-hmm.
that plot of land in the back where you see that square, that black square, that is actually where we have our land tilled for our garden. That is our garden plot. And well, half of it is, and then the other half is where we're deciding to extend our orchard. And so if you see those grapes, those that's where we have our grapevines, and then our orchard extends south that way.
Mm-hmm.
And where you see those fruit trees in front of the grapes, that's where we talked about where we planted them, and then we found out that's not a good spot because we need to have tile drainage put in place. So you can talk about tile drainage.
So basically, what tile drainage is basically where they drill into the ground, not drill into the ground. You can say that they dig down probably about 2 or 3 feet with a laser driller, so make sure it's straight, and then they drop these. I could say like tubings in there, like PVC tubings. It's different type of tubings that you could use, and basically what happens is, you can either run it out towards the drainage out to the front of the house where there's like a I don't know what you call them, but if you're driving on the side of the road in the country
Trench.
trenches, it can either drain outside of there, or you can have like a catch basin. You probably have a catch basin in your garage or something like that, where you may not notice it, but your garage steep in a little bit, and there's like a white cap with holes in it, and then water drains into that. So that's called a catch basin. And basically, what we're gonna do, our catch basin will host where it will retain a lot of the rainwater, and the retention of that rainwater can go into the extra hydrants that we add onto the property, which are well. So we would connect those to our main well, and they would be able to supply extra water to our garden in the back. And so that's what tiling is. You can look it up also. That was just like a quick synopsis of what it is. Synopsis, is that the right word?
Sure. So basically, half of our field in the back, I'll say that's probably about an acre and a half. We can't really use right now because it's wet. I mean, we use it for parking when we have events, but and the dogs run out there, but we can't really use it for gardening right now. So until we get that done. Um, but what our plans are for that area is we want to put a greenhouse back there, a big greenhouse, and then we also eventually would like a pond, not a huge pond, just a decent sized pond. Um, yeah, and then over on the side of the barn, if you see that, so the barn right now is where we store our tractor and our lawnmower, and so on the side of the barn, we built a chicken coop for our chickens. And then we also wanted to keep our goat. If we get goats, at first we wanted goats sooner than later, but now we don't want goats right now. We're gonna wait. But if we decide we're still gonna get goats, they'll probably live in the barn and then be able to come out to the same area where the chickens are. So that's the goal. And then we have a large compost pile that's not shown on here, but it's all the way in the south behind our garden bed plot. So yeah, and it looks so much smaller in this diagram, but it's a lot bigger uh, than what it looks like.
So that's why where the rain part was, gardening on that part wasn't that big of a deal due to the space that we had to garden. It was such a large space, and you want to make sure that you can maintain the garden that you have before you want to expand it really, really big. And so, trying to, we came in at first like we're gonna do the whole thing. You feel me? Ambitious, but it's a lot. It's definitely a lot more than deception with your eyes, and it's like, oh, you can do this whole thing. But once you get it, the ground cultivated and get it ready to go, you start planting. You're like, wait a minute, we got more space than we actually planned on planting on. So it works out. And I think how we should plant this season is start from the south end and work our way back, because the compost pile back there, and we can just go.
Yeah, that's true. And then also we planted in this large space, um, but then we'll talk about it later why it didn't really work out. But then we only planted things that did work out. Only was in it was like a small area, literally only like 2 or 3 rows, and it was very very what's the word? It was good. I mean, it like produced a lot.
It was luscious.
It was luscious. Yes, it produced a lot of.
It was abundant.
Yes, abundant is the word I was looking for. It produced a lot of fruits and vegetables, and so
Lots.
and that was only 2 or 3 rows, and we can put probably about 50 rows out there. So I don't even know if we'll get to the whole thing this year.
We might do 50 rows of melons, straight melons, watermelons.
Yeah, we said that last year.
Honeydew. Yeah, but we ran this, our melons didn't go so swell this season, but net last season. But this season they're gonna be on point, and I'm gonna make 100% sure of that, because
I think one thing that we got to learn from last year is that we tried to do too much at one time, and that's why I'm not gonna say that's why it didn't work out. It was other reasons why, but it's important to focus on a couple rows at a time and see how those are doing before we just jump in because we wasted lots of seeds. Like I'm still mad about my Jubilee watermelon seeds because I don't have any more
We got
because
more
I planted
Jubilees.
all of them.
Oh no, I got some more.
Probably like 3.
Hey, better than zero.
Anywho, so these are our chickens that
Let
these are the first chickens, our first livestock on the farm.
me tell you who did. So, which I don't know exactly. Well, I could tell you.
So first, we got two. So we had or 3 different kinds. 6 chicks, 3 different kinds. So we had black diamond, uh, chicks that we thought all of these were females. We got had 2 that were black diamond, and their names were Black and Diamond, and then we had 2 olive eggers, and that was Theodora and Rose. No, not Rose. Tha and Theodora. And then we had 2 blue Plymouth rocks,
Mhm.
and that was Sharma and Rose. So Sharma and Rose are still alive. Da is still alive.
And the other 3 has been
No, we still have Black or Diamond.
yeah,
Oh, Diamond. Black is dead.
yeah. So Black got executed. I'm playing. He ain't executed. The dogs ate him
And Theodora.
and did Thor. So I don't know.
Theodora flew over the fence though, so
Allegedly.
she flew over the fence.
So we really don't know what happened the first time, because to Katara usually she can get out the gate, but now she's bigger. She can't get out the gate anymore. But when we came back, Katara was in the cage and Wu was in front of the cage snacking on Theodora, like waiting for Katara to get out so she can have some. He saved some for her. And then for it was a diamond or black, whatever.
Black.
For Black, he was the rooster. I still don't know how it happened. It's on YouTube. Half of him was left in the cage. The other half of him was in the backyard. It was just a mystery for only the dogs to figure out. But I know it was Qatar because she had blood on her nose. And yeah, so we got to make sure that we take care of our chickens and make sure that they're safe, because these dogs, they love chicken.
Yeah, and we had 6 other chicks. None of those made it. But that wasn't because of the dogs. It was because one of them just died unexpectedly, and then 2 ran away because we put them in there too early, and then they got away. 3 of them, and then we caught 2, and then those 2 we put in also too early, and the chickens ate them. So yeah,
pecked them dead. They pecked them dead, which is crazy. I got a theory that chickens that get away transform into vultures, because chickens eat anything and they learn how to fly once they hit the land. Just a theory. So what y'all think? So yeah, we only got 4 chickens right now.
and that's why we're not getting goats yet, because we need to learn how to protect our chickens before we get any goats.
I agree. Boom, look at that.
So this is when we were building the chicken coop. I actually didn't put a full picture of the chicken coop in there. I just realized that. But
just know it's crispy.
There's a video on YouTube that showed us building the chicken coop.
It was cold out. It was super cold
we
out.
We did this when we first moved in. We moved in the fall. So we did this in about October, probably.
Yeah. And my brother Mo helped us out also. It was good. It was good. It probably took about a month or so.
Yep. So that's something that we did when we first moved in. And then this is also around the time we first moved in.
Look, is my hair twisted right here?
I don't think so.
Look at Marley. Marley love whipping the tractor. She always want to go vroom, vroom.
Yeah, that's our lawnmower. And so, as you can see, we got a lot of grass to cut. Actually, this is the day you ran into the.
Oh yeah, I done broke the top of the hood off right there. I don't hit the gate. Marley went with me though, because if you put these things and like it go from gear from 1 to 4, and when you holding the brake, when you shifting it, if you don't let off easy, it'll just jerk you. I done smashed into the wood gate. bop the whole light off.
Yeah. And then this is we bought this tiller off of Facebook
I can
Marketplace.
tell you, it was even though it was made even though it was made in like 1840, it go to work. And the other crazy thing is about it is that before we was being impatient, she wanted me to go out there and till the whole backyard with this 1865 tiller. I don't have calluses off my hand, and only to remind you, it was like March, and it was cold. I wish I had the video of her cousin Amir, the the tiller just dragging across the land. I gotta find that video.
I was okay. This is what I wanted. I didn't want the whole thing to right away. What I wanted was a row so that I could go plant my onions because it was time. And so, anyway, this tiller did not work out for her. This is for someone who has. This might work if I had like a little
No,
garden.
it did work because when we planted our garden east to west, I cleaned the rows up with these. It did a great job.
Yeah, it's a nice tool to have.
It's too heavy though. It's too heavy.
But I would like to have a smaller, like a cultivator.
We
Do we
got
have
one.
one?
We
Oh
got an
yeah, we
electric
did
one.
get one.
We got an electric one.
That was nice.
It worked well. It worked well. But this right here, if your son or daughter been acting crazy and they need something to do, they got too much energy and that's been wilding, put them on this tiller right here. But like I got something for you to do. Come outside. It set me straight. I was like, shoot.
This is you.
Right? Look. I had to turn around. Look. I'm looking up like, ain't no way. Look at the pretty baby.
And then okay, so like with some of the fruit trees, they can't go outside. Like behind Marley right here is an olive tree. So what we did the first year, we left them in our sunroom. We have a really big sunroom. And so we put our lemon trees, our orange trees, lime.
Talking about the tiller when I'm dragging them.
Oh wait, that's Amir. Hi Amir.
You're right. The thing was dog walking me. Now I'm playing. I'm gonna have to show the video. We gotta show the video, bro. It's hilarious. It's so funny. You did good though. You did good. I know it made you stronger, helped you build some character. That's funny as hell.
And so, yeah, we ended up leaving all our fruit trees, tropical fruit trees, on the back porch, along with a tomato plant that ended up coming back, and then some pineapple plants. And yeah, I'm glad you're on here, Mary. I have lots of pictures of you. Nice. And then another thing we did before the year before like the winter came, we built like a trellis out in the field for our grapevines. But my grandfather told me that this is not going to work for us, along with some people on TikTok that said this was stupid idea. But basically, the reason they said that is because the roots get really, really thick, and then like the stem gets really thick, and so it would be hard to prune it on this gate. So what we're gonna end up doing is building like an actual grapevine trellis where I don't know if you've ever seen one where there's like it's kind of like a tunnel you walk through really, and it climbs up the wood pole and goes over the top, and the grapes hang down.
Oh, that's good because I could take this gate off and put it right in the back right here.
Yep. And so we'll have some more T-posts once we do this. And so that's another thing we did before the wintertime came. This is me in the sunroom. I hosted for our foundation to raise some money. I hosted a journaling course for 5th grade girls. I had 2 girls in the class. We had a really good time. It was like 3 months class, and they loved me. I loved them. We had a good time. It was off of my journaling book that I wrote that you can find on our website.
What'd you learn about 5th grade girls?
I learned that they have a lot of energy. Like when I say a lot of energy, they have a lot. I'm putting our website in the chat so that if you want to check out this book, you can purchase it. But yeah, that's where my journaling book is. And I'm not doing the class again this year just because I'm trying to get some other things done around here.
Wow, look at that.
And then we also planted 2 kiwi trees. So these kiwi trees were free from someone on Facebook Marketplace. We went to pick them up and then we planted them. They did come back in the spring. They had leaves,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't give us fruit.
This
So
season for sure. This season for
yeah,
sure.
this upcoming season maybe.
Us up with some good fruit. Look at that. How gorgeous is that tower?
And then another thing we did, we got it's called a Let Us Grow tower,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's amazing.
we planted herbs and lettuce in there, and it was good. It's good for us. We actually took it down at the end of the season, and we haven't started it back
We had
yet.
to wash it because it get really dirty. Some of the roots, if you it depending which foods you have in there, but some of the roots can stretch down all the way into the water, and so and it get dirty in there too, and so you got to make sure. I took it all apart and we cleaned it up really well. I sprayed it down with the hose. I scrubbed it down to make sure it's got clean. But we definitely gonna have to put this back up. Another thing is it's super bright, and so even in the daytime, it's way too bright in the daytime. So I kind of want to have the light on at nighttime. It's kind of like I never want to have the light on. It's actually way too bright for life. Like it's super bright. But yeah, that's the only thing I would say that's the only thing about it that was the con is it's super bright. Super bright.
Yeah, but I like it. It's cute. It gives a good, cute aesthetic in the house.
Yeah.
And one thing that we can do to fix the root problem is harvest the whole, like it's little cups that each crop is in. And so what I was doing, I was just cutting off like herbs to harvest them. But instead, we will harvest the whole thing out, cut the roots shorter, and then cut
Let
the
it grow.
herbs off, and then put it back in and let it grow again.
That's true. And also another well, they always stay wet. Um well with the bugs only came like the little gnats only came because we had plants on the back porch that worked their way in here. So
Yeah. Let's keep going. Got a long story in Ohio. Oh, there you are.
had them out there going to work.
So we started all of our seeds on in our sunroom.
We started too early though.
We definitely started too early, but we started them all in the sunroom, and some of them were successful. Not all of them, but a lot of them were. I would say the sunroom is very beneficial to start our seeds in, but we're not going to do that this year just because we had a huge fungus gnat problem. They started coming in the house, and it was just too much. So we're not doing that this time around, but if you have a sunroom, that's an awesome place to start seeds.
And if you were to start your season in summer, what you want to do is, if you do water them, don't water them again until it dry out. You just wanted the moisture to go away because that's where those little fruit flies, whatever you want to call them, lay their eggs is into moist conditions. And so if it dries out, they ain't got nowhere to lay their eggs.
And so we built these shelves out of just scrap wood so that we could put all of our seedlings on them. And they're actually being used for other things now, storage in the shed, storage in the garage, things like that.
Look at Woo Woo. Come on, boy.
This is our lemon tree ever that we got in Texas. It's actually going on 3 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
And it produced its first lemons this past year. And they were good. They were big and juicy.
The flowers on lemon tree smell really good too.
Yeah, it made the whole back porch smell good. They were amazing.
Yeah, they smell really delicious.
Where do we put our fruit trees now? We put them in the garage because we have 2 big windows in our garage. And so we just have them sitting in the garage right now. We water them, not too much, but we water them every now and then. And they're doing good.
Look at my little stepper right there. She ready to go to work always. She always ready to go.
Yeah, so this is just like a water tank that we got. We went through a lot of different trial and error about how we were going to water our garden, and then ended up realizing we didn't really need to water our garden that much because it rained so much. But
yeah, that was it was a trial. It was a lot. It definitely was a lot.
Yeah, so this tank is still in our back, in the garden area. We use it when we first plant things and like
Oh shit! As I'm thinking about it, I gotta go empty that tank out. It's kind of cold. Actually, I did empty it. Didn't I empty it?
no,
I thought I emptied it.
I don't
If
remember.
not, it's probably expanding. I don't want it to mess up the cage. I'm gonna have to go check it because it's been cold here. But I'm pretty sure that I emptied it. I go see tomorrow.
Yeah. So that's that picture.
But
Oh, and we had to clean it out because it was like some soap in there, and we had to clean it out a lot.
I recommend don't do this, y'all. This was a bad idea. Actually, it wasn't a good idea. It was a learning experience. It was definitely a learning experience. So I wouldn't say it was bad. I wouldn't say it was good. I would say that I can tell you not to do this way.
Yeah, so we had to get the plot tilled because it was our first time. We are all about not tilling your land, but it was our first time here and we needed to turn over the soil. And so we got it vertically tilled, which is basically where it just tills like this instead of turning it over.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a horrible idea. All the weeds grew back really tall and it was hard, compact soil. It was terrible to plant in. The roots couldn't spread.
It was like lumps like this, lumps of grass. Imagine taking a shovel and taking a big piece out and just dropping it on the ground.
Yeah, it was bad. And we planted a lot of crops in there, and they all pretty much suffered because they couldn't expand their roots. We planted over here. I have a picture of us planting stuff. So we created these lines to plant everything in rows, and we planted 600 onions, 800 beets, 200 turnips, 300 carrots, and that was just the first time we planted. We
Mm-hmm.
planted melons, okra, corn, cucumbers. I mean, we planted a lot of stuff, and it did not come up because of the way it was tilled. So this year, hopefully, we have better turnout because we ended up tilling it horizontally.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Charlie.
Yeah,
Get y'all
and
Charlie.
Charlie, he's an old man around the corner that allows us to use his tractor, and because he has a big tractor with nice tools on him, and so he allowed us to use his tractor to horizontally till the back, and then that's where we planted our other crops that were actually really really successful. And the soil was so soft, it was like you could pick it up and it just fall. It was amazing.
It's the new gold. So
But
it's a new
out of all the
gold.
stuff that we planted in on this picture, the onions, I say we harvested mostly all the onions. We sold them as green onions mostly. Sometimes some of the bulbs got pretty big, but it was mostly green
We
onions.
harvest some. We harvest some good turnips too, and the carrots out there still smacking. We should need to go out there and grab some. That
These are the
bah.
turnips we harvested. So we harvested some really good turnips, and then there's a lot of carrots. I'm sure all the carrots came up too.
Printing money. You
Only
feel me?
thing that happened with the turnips is that we planted them too close together, and we did thin them out because you can't plant things too close. They need space. And so we thinned them out. But so then we probably ended up only having like 50 turnips out there. And then some of them just didn't grow because it was too tight to grow in there. So,
Too dense. Very too dense. Look at them pretty rose.
yeah.
The rose was pretty. I can't even hold y'all. They look nice.
That's the squad on the
Oh, look at
farm.
Chloe here. Can you zoom in?
I don't think I. Oh,
Oh.
what was
Look
happening?
at all the water though. Y'all see all the water right there
Oh
that we
my
was talking about
God.
before? Hey Chloe, you watching? It's all good. It's all good. You got that good her.
Yeah. Is Marley asleep?
She eating.
She enjoying that food. Nice. And so this is we picked strawberries as a family.
Yeah, that was fun.
We picked lots of strawberries and then we ended up packaging them up and selling them at our farmers market.
They were so juicy. Me and Marley was smashing strawberries the whole time. I asked Kylie, Chloe, and Amir, how was the strawberries? You know what they said? They didn't try them. I said, what? I was out there. I probably ate a whole barrel, like container, me and Marley to ourselves before we got in the car. They were good. Definitely going back. I think it was called Whitaker Farm, wasn't it?
something like that.
Yeah.
But those are some good strawberries.
They so
And we
good.
made jam out of them called my Ice Jam and Jelly. It was
It
good.
was a hit. It was a hit. It was really good. Gotta go back. We gotta make it a tradition, y'all. Amir, you gotta slide every summer so we can go here.
Yep. And so then this brings us to talking about we have a market, farmers market that we host. We hosted it in Toledo, Glass City.
Toledo, Glass City,
And then
Ohio.
at the Bowling Green Farmers Market, we had a table. And so
Mm-hmm.
this is part of our initiative for our nonprofit. And so we sold some of our crops that we grew. And this just talks about our foundation. And so some of our initiatives are, you've seen throughout this whole presentation, really, that we always have the kids involved. So our youth agriculture education program, we've been doing this the whole time, with all the kids. And then we are cultivating community gardens. We're trying to, we need to raise funds in order to get a plot of land so we can get this going. And then we have a Tree of Treats program where we give out fruit and nut trees for free. And then our farmers markets. So yeah, if you want to know more about our organization, visit that link and you can find out more. And then at our markets, we sell straight juice.
Straight juice, baby.
So this picture is us bottling up some straight juice before the market. Yep, the kids get involved with this as well.
Always. That's my nephew Ryan, to the right there. Well, for y'all, it might be to the left, but that's my nephew right there, getting it in, learning about how to make cold pressed juice, a little bit of economics. You know what I'm saying? Getting involved. Look at Marley, always working and smiling, and having fun.
This is us out in Toledo.
Toledo on Cherry Street. So that's downtown Glass City on Cherry Street. Cherry and Central. Yep, Cherry and Central.
Yep, and we even accept SNAP EBT at our markets.
Exactly. So we just want to be able to be involved with the community in the best ways possible. And so it was a good place. It was definitely was a good place to be for the time being. So it was good. It was definitely good.
Yep. And then this is a picture of us in the news.
It said, let me see, we read it say a group of young indigenous American entrepreneur farmers have planted their roots in the Glass City. Indigenous. All right.
Yep. So that's us in the paper.
Public notice. Indigenous.
And then this is us at Bowling Green Farmers Market. So at this table, we had a bunch of herbs and some peppers, banana peppers, some of the green onions I was talking about. We had some mint from our tower, chamomile, and parsley.
It grows really good herbs. The tower grows really good herbs. It did the chamomile really well. Really, really well.
Yeah. And then, of course, we had straight juice.
Hold on. Let me see this picture real quick. Oh, this is when somebody parked in our spot because we usually next to the flower pot. You feel me? But somebody left their car in the lot. So every week at the Bowling Green Farmers Market, 201 South Main Street, Bowling Green, Ohio, they got this lot that they have preserved every Wednesday from 4 to 7 for the farmers market only. And somebody parked in our spot. It's all good. We still did well, so I ain't tripping. Yeah. But that ain't the point. You weren't supposed to park there, bro or sis. Look at
and
Katara.
Then we got a new puppy, Katara. So this is Woo's wife.
Yeah, look at Woo's wife.
Look at how cute. She's so little. This is Marley's dog for real. Like, they're besties.
Yeah, she loves her some Katara.
I mean, Marley loves all the dogs, but she has a special place for Katara. And then I put this picture in because the food truck is in the back. So we got us a food trailer for straight juice. That's not how we decorated it. This is before we put it all together. And so yeah, that's us.
And our skin glowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see us in the water. That is Lake Erie right there. Everybody wants to know where the picture been. I mean, where it was shot at, Lake Erie right there when we did our thing.
Yeah, we ended the season with getting married.
Indeed.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes, indeed. Marley
Yeah.
rocked her pretty boots, always and forever.
Yes. So that's that. And Marley on the tractor. I put this
Mm-hmm.
because we've been doing mostly composting lately, because that's all we can do in the colds. We compost with our tractor. And then here's Wu and Katara.
Y'all can follow their Instagram
Yep.
right there. Woo underscore Qatar Rottweiler. Rottweiler.
Straight
Straight
Juice.
Jews, baby.
You can follow our Straight Juice Instagram. Right here is a reel that shows the inside and outside of our trailer. It's gonna be up and running very soon. Here's some smoothies, smoothie bowl, and of course juice. So it's straight juice underscore.
Yep. STR8 Juice underscore. The original certified beverage to keep you moving and grooving.
Yep. And so now we can go back to our that we had last week.
Our participation assignment. Are y'all ready? Are you
This
ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you
is the
ready? Are
most
you ready?
important part of
Are
this
you
whole
ready?
video.
Exactly. So we're gonna learn some new things on how we can implement new things into our lives to help us, you know, better health. Better choices starts better health starts with better choices.
Yep. So we brought an article by Cleveland Clinic, and it's called "Is Red Dye 40 Safe?" So first, we can talk about red dye 40s, the names, the different names that they hide it under.
Mm-hmm.
So red 40, FD&C, red number 40, lake, whatever, aluminum lake, anything red number 40, any dyes really.
You know
You
what's
really
crazy? Before I read it, right after I read this article, I seen something. It's my first time seeing it, or I just became aware of it. It said FDNC red for number 40, and I didn't seen it until I read this article. So I guess I became aware of it now. So
yeah. And this is just talking about red dye 40, but I'm sure you can find a common denominator between all of those blue dyes, yellow dyes,
mm-hmm.
etc., etc. And so this picture here is a structure of red dye 40. And so it's made up of petroleum. It's synthetic, it's not natural. It's made of it's just simply petroleum. And so like petroleum jelly, that stuff, yeah. And so it just tells you the melting point and all that of this. This is like a chemical. It's called, actually, I have the website. It's from futureengineers.org. But what I wanted to highlight is that it says that red dye is added to produce to make the food look more appealing. So that's why it's important to shop with local farmers at farmers markets, those kind of things, because at orchards, those kind of things, because they're not using red 40 to make their stuff look pretty. It's going to be natural, and it might come with a couple scrapes and bruises, but you know that it's natural and from the earth. Red dye, if you go to the grocery store and you see this perfect red apple, it's most likely has red dye 40 added in there.
Mm-hmm.
It also says that makeups use red dye 40. It's crazy. So yeah. What else has red dye 40?
These are some of the items that have red dot 40 that you may not know about. And so as you can see, you got your Doritos, you got your Cheetos, you got your Takis. They're not on here, but they on there. You feel me? Your Fruit Loops, your Fruity Pebbles, your Skittles, your Starburst. I'm gonna go with that one last. Jellos and all these other beverages, carbonated drinks, chips, and all this. Is that
Ketchup,
ketchup? You know what I'm saying? Because look how pretty these designs. Look at this beautiful.
bacon,
You
ham.
feel me? That's disgusting. Oh, that's probably that's definitely how to keep the meat not in red
That's
because
how they keep it red.
mm-hmm.
Because meat is not meat. Only reason why you would think meat is red is because of blood, but the blood has been drained out of the cow, so therefore, why is it red? Because of red dye 40.
Exactly. And look how pretty these bags of chips look and these cereals look. You feel me? And the Starburst look, because the front is for entertainment and the back is for education. And you see Gatorade up there, right? Gatorade is not a beverage to give you vitality. Gatorade is a drink to deprive you of vitality and to make you more thirsty, to make you more to make you become a consumer and unaware of what you're actually putting into your body. You feel me? And so that's where straight juice comes in. It's a healthy alternative. And if you're not getting straight juice, even trying to make your own type of juice or finding something else that doesn't have these red dyes in them or these uh, ingredients that actually takes your life away. You feel me? And so now you now have to make better choices. But if you choose not to, slavery is now a choice. So don't be a slavery to the things you consume. You feel me?
Yeah, another candy that I wanted to mention is Twizzlers because Twizzlers are marketed as vegan, but Twizzlers have red dye 40 in them. Um,
Actually, that's a good point. They market things as vegan, as plant based, and all these other things, but you got to flip it over and read the ingredients. And another thing that they tricked up on, instead of saying GMO, they now say
Bioengineered.
bioengineered. You see what I'm saying? So they starting to play word games on people like, oh, it's not GMO, it's bioengineered. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a bird with a left and right wing, but they head into the same direction. You feel me? So same bird, same agenda, different marketing plan.
Yeah, so it's important to look at your ingredients. It can take a long time if you once you first start, it really does take a long time to look at the ingredients, but it's very important. And most importantly, red dyes, all those dyes, they're usually listed as the last ingredient.
Yeah.
So you can just jump to the last ingredient and you can see that.
And leading by example, Marley doesn't eat any of these things, and we don't eat any of these things around Marley. So I didn't like candy in the first place in the jump, but we don't eat any of these foods, and we don't eat them around Marley, and we don't eat them ourselves. And so is it something that she will be enticed to do? Even though they have beautiful colors, so does her fruits. And so, and you also can make beautiful fruits and fruit snacks and different candies for your child also. So
Yeah, and that's one thing that I think we need to do better on is like bringing fruit snacks and those kind of things cuz like her cousins and like other people around her don't eat that way. And so when she sees them eating things, she wants to eat them, and it's really like hard. I mean, it's not hard to say no, Marley, you can't have that, but at the same time, it's like we need to be able to provide her another option if she can't have that. So, like, for example, if her cousins are eating Welch's fruit snacks that we know have high fructose corn syrup in them, she can't have that, but we could have some fruit snacks that we made from our own straight juice on deck, ready for her to eat when she sees her cousins eating
I
those.
be want to take all them snacks from them kids, and they be asking why they had that. I say no. They be like, it's just that. I be like, I don't care. It don't matter about that. It's about that we know is that.
But she gets upset, and as she gets older, she's going to get more and more upset when she can't have things because she feels left out. And so that's why it's important that we make her own snacks so that when she goes around other people, she can have something too. And also it'll teach her that she can always make her own alternatives. That's what a lot of people go wrong. They feel as though, oh no, I can't eat like whatever this anymore because it has this in it. No, you can still eat that same kind of thing. You just got to make it yourself in a healthier version of it. And so
Mhm.
we have an alternative to red dye 40, but yeah, let's keep talking about other things like Pops, Pepsi, Mountain Dew. Those things have it. M&Ms, Skittles. Yeah.
Any damn near any mainstream candy or commercial company is using these products to, because you got to know they're in the pockets of the medical field and and they're in the industry of sickness, not healing. They're in the process of sickness. And so if they can keep you sick and allegedly diagnose you with ADHD, they continue to keep you in their rat race. And so the health and the wealth way is to put better things in your body so you get better results, and those other things wouldn't do so for you. So
Yeah, and so why is red dye 40 bad? Because we've been talking about how it's bad. So why? Why? Because it can cause bad behavioral changes. So if you see the little kid that's in school that won't sit down and want to keep throwing chairs at people or just keep being obnoxious, sometimes maybe it's because he don't like school, but most of the time it's because he's eating all of these candies and these different things, and it's not the sugar per se in those candies. It's things like red dye 40 that's causing depression, irritability, ADHD, those kind of things. Allergic reactions like and having hives, I wouldn't say that that's something that's a top red dye 40 side effect. There's definitely people who are allergic to these red dyes, but that's not something that is very, I wouldn't say common. I would say more likely that you would get the behavioral changes, the depression, the migraines, especially the migraines, those kind of things. Skin irritation, watery eyes, sneezing, hives and asthma, allergic reaction, all that stuff is related to allergies. Uh, but the migraines, that's that you people walk around with migraines getting headaches all the time. That's why. The behavioral changes, people like walk around, they don't even know they're depressed. It's because of this red dye. And then the most important thing about the red dye is it contains a benzene, which
Benzene.
is cancer causing. So that in itself, cancer is on the top list of leading causes of death. They make a lot of money off of cancer. Chemotherapy is expensive, so you would see now you can kind of see why they put these things in these foods. So
Mm-hmm.
that's red dye 40. And then so what can you use to, instead of, if you want to like color something, you can color your food. If you want to make some red velvet cupcakes, you don't have to put red dye 40 in them. Use some beet powder.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what you're going to get from adding that beet powder? Some extra iron benefits.
Strong heart, good, helps with the blood. Me and Molly took some a little bit of beet shots today. She had a little bit, because beet juice is very strong. So be careful. This is not medical advice. This is our own experience advice. So if you do take some beet juice, be careful, do your research, and consult with who you need to.
Yeah, and then if you're looking to, if you want to make fruit snacks per se,
Mm-hmm.
you can just use cranberry juice or cherry juice or some or like pomegranate juice. Oh, speaking of cherry juice, I know a big thing that people do nowadays, they take supplements or give their kids supplements to go to sleep. Cherry juice. It will naturally put you to sleep.
I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yep. And then another thing is magnesium. A lot of people are deficient in magnesium. I don't say take magnesium supplements because I only reason I take supplements is because I haven't created the perfect concentrations yet of what foods I need to eat every day. So I'll take a magnesium supplement because it's easy. And I know that I need it to keep me calm and relaxed. And so you could do that as well. But I would first say try cherry juice. And then beta carotene, that's an orange color. That comes from carrots, sweet potatoes, those kind of things. It's very, very beneficial. It's an antioxidant. And then pomegranate juice, that turns things red quick. So yeah, if you want to make your food a different color, just use a fruit. Fruits have very beautiful colors. All of our straight juice, they come in beautiful colors.
Mm-hmm.
If you a nice blue tint is blue spirulina.
Yeah, very, very blue. Very, very blue. Like deep sea blue.
Yeah, and then green things, kale. And these things don't have like you don't have to put that much
Yeah.
for so you don't have to get the taste. You can just get the color. You don't have to put that much in there.
And blue spirulina really don't got a flavor to it. You don't got to add that much. It's very strong. A little goes a long way.
Yeah.
A little goes a long way.
And then this is the picture we're ending on. So it's a woman in 1947 with her groceries. And she only paid $12.50 for these
For
groceries.
all this groceries, about about 12 things of canned food right there. She got some butter, she got some celery,
Me,
some meat, some butter. 12.50 for all that right there. Some bread, our head right there, but there's some. I think that's our meats also. But yeah, all that right there costs 12.50. Imagine now, for this time, you will only be able to get right now. You just get them 3 cans at the top for 12.50, yo. That's
yeah,
it.
maybe some more celery.
3 cans and a celery bar. You feel me? Not even the whole thing, just a celery bar.
So that tells you how crazy like prices have gone up in like what 75 years or so. So who knows how what prices will look like soon, if things will even be available. And so that's why it's very important to learn how to grow your own
Mm-hmm.
food. And e- even if you're not vegan, even if you're not vegan, you can still learn how to grow the other stuff that you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it's just easier. Imagine being able to just go in your backyard. You need a tomato. You forgot. How about this? You forgot to get a tomato at the store and you need one. And you're like, oh yeah, I grew that tomato in the backyard. I'm gonna go out there and get it. And then you go get it. It was so convenient having onions in the back. I mean, every time I needed an onion, I'm like, babe, can you go pull me an onion? It's so easy. It's very, very convenient. And you grow the things that you like.
Yeah.
You don't have to grow squash if you don't eat squash.
Yeah. You just gotta participate in your life. Participate in your life. But yeah, grow some food, get your hands dirty, take your shoes off, and connect with the earth. Connect back with nature because you are one with nature, and nature is one with you. Never separate yourself from nature, ever.
Yeah. So what are we gonna talk about next week?
I don't know. We gotta find a participation assignment. What you think it should be? Because this
Oh,
week we focused on red 40 and we brought an ingredient of the food in.
research your zone that you live in.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So we are in zone 5A and we are in the Midwest of Ohio. Yep, Midwest of Ohio.
Yeah, research your grow zone. Just research and then come back and we're gonna ask the question next week of what's your grow zone.
Yeah, what's your grow zone? When is your frost date? When is your last frost date? You know what I'm saying? Things like that sense. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the activity.
All right, bet.
And then check the Garden of Treats, garden underscore, right? Of underscore treats with a Z on Instagram for the next video title.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
All right. And before we go, remember, you are capable beyond your imagination. You are a wonderful celestial being. You are more and more powerful than you ever imagined. You are a celestial being. Love yourself, love your wealth, and continue to put beautiful, wonderful thoughts inside of your mind, inside of your heart, and know that you are divinely protected at all times and forever. Dream well tonight, and we'll see y'all next time. Let me get a kiss.